Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you guys are having a good day. Today we are back in the Java Edition Survival Guide. Thank you so much to everyone who checked out the Minecraft Earth videos over the last few days, and yeah, I really like that game. I think it's got a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to doing some build tutorials and stuff for it in future. But once again, that is not going to interrupt the Java Edition Survival Guide any longer. I will just check my elytra to make sure I don't have any durability lost there. Yes, here we go. Today, I'm back here in the Nether because I've done a little bit more clearing up of the fortress farm over here, and this is going to be really quite productive once we finish clearing out the rest of this area. But this is a heck of a job, which is why you haven't seen this come back into any more episodes. It's that, yeah, this entire fortress around here and the surrounding terrain is what I'm trying to take down. Not because I need to or anything, just because I really feel like it looks quite cool to have this giant box in the middle of here, and we'll be able to do some cool decoration and stuff with it. One of my regrets over my Minecraft career is not having built more cool stuff in the Nether, and that is what I want to do with this project. I kind of want to change some things. I've been taking down the area around the farm itself manually to avoid TNT explosions going awry and taking out a large chunk of the farm itself, but I think I'll be back in here soon with the TNT duplicators to get the rest of these Nether Fortress walkways taken care of, and then, my friends, then we will have one heck of a wither skeleton farm on our hands. But for today, we're actually going to head back to the overworld and do something a little bit more peaceful. And that is going to be related to this little setup over here, or at least passive mob farming in general. We are probably not going to include it as part of this farm right away because the mobs I'm going to be dealing with are a little bit unpredictable and something that it isn't easy to farm like this. The farm itself needs a little bit more of its own specialized setup because today we are finally going to be dealing with rabbits. I haven't really done much with rabbits in this series before, and I felt like it was probably about time, 250-something episodes in, that we ended up building ourselves a little rabbit farm. I think we're going to build a kind of rabbit hutch or something over here, something that allows the rabbits a little bit more freedom to roam, but then we can also take a look at how to farm these rabbits with a little bit more automation involved, or at the very least, a slightly smarter way of doing it in a compact area that's going to mean maximum output and less chasing rabbits around and swiping at them with swords. But first, of course, we need to obtain some rabbits, and they don't spawn in every biome, so this might be a little bit more difficult than it sounds. Rabbits can only really be found in a few different biomes, which includes deserts, flower forests, taigras and their variants, and snow biomes and their variants. So there are only really a few different places in the world we can go and find them, and I think we have a couple of taigras around here, but the others are a little bit further afield, so we are going to have to head out and try our best to find them. I'm going to grab some leads from in here, and rabbits are attracted to 3 different food sources. Obviously, carrots are the main one. They are also attracted to golden carrots, but also dandelions. If you have an excess of dandelions, which if you've been doing any kind of flower gathering in a plains biome, you probably do, because red dye is used for so much and yellow dye is used for so little in this game. I find that I have an excess of dandelions, and dandelions can also be food for rabbits. You can breed them, you can have them follow you with dandelions. It is kind of useful to know that if you don't have carrots in easy supply and you're maybe in the early game. But here we are with all of these food types at our disposal, and I'm going to try my best to go out and find every single type of rabbit so that you guys can see the full range of what this game provides. Our first stop is the taiga biome, where we will find rabbits competing for space with things like foxes and the usual assortment of passive mobs, and we are looking for some rabbits which kind of blend in a little bit with the dirty terrain around here, all of the grass and so forth. They are brown rabbits, and typically you'll just find them dotted in amongst the trees here and there. So I'm going to do a bit of exploring in this area, and I'll let you guys know when I've found myself a rabbit. There we go, there's one hopping down the hill, and you need to be a little bit careful when handling rabbits because they are fragile creatures and they will jump off cliffs in order to get to carrots, often endangering themselves in the process. You'll find that rabbits tend to leap to their deaths more often than not, so be aware that that is something you need to worry about when you're handling rabbits, but this one looks like it's going to be following us. So let me put it on the lead real fast if I can. Yeah, they do tend to run away from you if you make any sudden moves, kind of like cats or ocelots in that sense, but hopefully if I hold a golden carrot in one hand and a lead in the other, we should have no problem catching this one. Yep, there we go. Got it on a lead. Fantastic. Let's try and get it back to the trading hall and see if we can pick up another rabbit or two on the way. Okay, we made it. Finally, we made it. And I'm going to take apart this portion of the old AFK fishing farm to have a fence to tie this rabbit up to. Because, yeah, these guys have a tendency to hop around a whole bunch, and I don't necessarily want it escaping. So bear with me while I go and get something that we can make a temporary hutch for this guy. Here you go. Come on in. Come on in. I'm trying to coax it around the fence post to see if it will come into this little shelter that I've made. But even when I'm in rabbit form down here, it doesn't seem to really want to go in. So I'll try and nudge it a little bit, maybe with the golden carrots in my hand so it's more attracted towards me. Here we go. We'll push you in like that. And then a few slabs across the entrance. Okay. Now the rabbit should not be able to get out of there, I hope. If it can... Oh, okay, it can. Fair enough. Well, at least it is still tied up to the fence post, and thankfully, it doesn't really want to go anywhere. If we just put the 2 slabs in front of there, it should be fine to keep the rabbit in the hutch for now while we go ahead and get some of the others. For the others, we are going to require some boats, though, because we need to get the rabbits from further afield. Deserts and snow biomes in this world are kind of far away, but I do want to see what other rabbits we can find, and there are even some secret rabbits in the game that are only obtainable through name tags. One thing we are not going to cover in this episode, though, is the killer rabbit, which you might have heard about as a reference to the Monty Python and the Holy Grail movie. The reason we're not going to cover that is it doesn't really exist in survival mode. People are probably wondering about that, and it was actually removed from survival mode shortly after it was implemented because it was just kind of too unfair. The rabbit could be a random encounter, and it could even appear in a forest when you were like just starting your game, and being killed over and over again right when you started the game was not a particularly great experience. So despite how funny the joke is, it was kind of consigned to creative mode, and it's only possible to find the killer bunny through commands. So we're not really going to be able to tackle that in this part of the series. We might have a go at it later. We might just do an episode about like mobs that you can only have through commands, but there are very few of those right now, so I figure we'll leave that for another time. Let's take the Nether portal out towards the desert, though, because this place is going to be slightly easier to find some rabbits. In fact, I've seen rabbits pretty much every time I've come to this desert, so there's a fairly decent chance there's going to be one waiting for us just outside of here. Nope, that is a dead bush. Okay, well, hopefully we'll find a couple in this area. I know that every time I've needed a rabbit for anything, whether it's rabbit's foot for potions of leaping or cooked rabbit to make some rabbit stew or something, I've come out here. And as you can see, rabbits are nice and easy to spot, even though their skin is designed to blend in with the sand of the desert a little bit. These sandy rabbits are more or less everywhere in the desert, and they're quite easy to get hold of. So let's just pop one of those down in a boat. Yes, there we go, got it. Okay, we'll trap a couple this way, and I feel like we're probably going to have to row them back individually. Unfortunately, you cannot use leads on boats in Java Edition. I know people have recommended that to me several times, but if I use a lead on this boat right now, it's either going to ask me to get in the boat, or it's going to allow me to take the animal out of the boat, which it doesn't seem to want to do with rabbits, probably because their hitbox is so small. For our final set of rabbits, we are going to come out here to the snowy biomes where, yep, we have a couple of rabbits. I think that's a baby one, actually. It's pretty small, but this one over here seems to fit the bill, and thankfully there is an ice biome a little bit closer than the one we're building the ski resort at, so it should just be a simple trip back across the ocean, and we shouldn't have quite as much trouble getting this one there as we did with the desert bunny. But here we go. We are off on our way, and then hopefully with these three, we've got the biome specific ones, we should be able to breed. Wow, okay, I forgot how fast boats moved over ice for a second. And with these three rabbits, hopefully we should be able to breed ourselves all of the remaining colors of rabbits, because the snow biome and the desert biome are the only ones where you have specific biome colors. The tiger ones, there are 3 or 4 different variants, and there is a small chance if you breed 2 rabbits together in a biome that is not a desert or a snowy tundra type of biome that you get one of the ones of varying colors. Wow, that dolphin is really flying. This dolphin is on some kind of like rocket fuel. I have no idea what's going on there. It keeps circling under the boat. Man, that is something else. All right, we're probably going to leave the dolphin behind though, because we are heading into the swamp here, and we are... Oh, nope, he's caught up. We are making our way towards Founder's Forge now. We should be there in just a few minutes. Okay, so with a little bit of effort, we have ourselves 3 bunny rabbits here in the hutch, and we will probably get a few more if I just lean in through here and give them some golden carrots to chew on. Here we go. Let's see if those 2 will breed and what offspring they produce. Is that a little white bunny? Oh, I think it is. Oh, how cute. Okay, so we need to start breeding these up a little bit, and to do that, I'm probably going to expand the hutch. I feel like we probably want to keep them in close quarters, but maybe not this close quarters, especially if we want a decent breeding population. So I'm going to expand the hutch out a little bit, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Hey folks, welcome back. It's now time to move our little rabbit family into their brand new luxury accommodation. Ta-da! I think it turned out pretty well. It's kind of modeled after the chicken coop that we built over by the farmhouse, although that does still need fixing up, but I kind of like this place. I think it turned out pretty well. Let me grab this slab from underneath here, and oh gosh, I'm stuck now. I'm going to have to break my way out. I'm sorry, rabbits. I'm destroying your coop already. But no, I have a little bit of bone meal here so we can grow some carrots around here. This is something that I didn't really know about rabbits until I started researching them for this episode. It turns out rabbits will actually go after patches of planted carrots. It's not a consistent thing, otherwise we could potentially use it as a mechanic for the farm, but occasionally, when a rabbit is around these crops, and maybe when they feel like they are not threatened, they will come over here, they will take a bite out of the carrots, and it will actually reduce the size of the crops by 1. So it'll be like they drop a growth stage, which is kind of interesting, and I kind of want to see that in action here in the video. But first of all, we do need to let these folks out of their little hutch here and see if we can get them over to their new accommodation. One of them has just bounced off into goodness knows where. Let me see if I can get the rest of them on a lead, like so. Let's swap that over, and yep, there we go. Okay, so we got the 2 white ones. Where is the sandy one hopped off to? I think probably not too far away. I think I see them on the other side of the hutch there, and it looks like we might need to break a fence so that they can get in here in the first place, which is good news because it seems like rabbits can't jump over fences all the way. Very good news for me, because I plan to just ring the outside of this in fences that I can jump over, but the rabbits cannot. There you go. See, they're just frolicking in the carrot patch now. Fantastic. Let's see if we can find that last one. No, oh, there you are. You're just hiding around the back. They seem to get stuck on trapdoors a lot, and I'm not quite sure why that is. Just something weird about the rabbit's hitbox interacting with the trapdoor's hitbox. Who can say? But for now, though, we should be able to get this one over the top here. Let's get the other ones interested in us. Let's try not to hit them with an axe. There we go, and welcome the sandy one into their new home. Brilliant stuff. Let's feed a few carrots to them, because I'm pretty sure... we got some dandelions as well. I could maybe go with those instead, but I'm pretty sure that they are all now willing to breed, and there is, like I said, a small chance that they produce a rabbit that does not have the characteristics of either of the parents. But no, it looks like for a while we are going to be stuck with ones that look kind of like the white bunny, apparently. Not to worry, though. We are going to use a few of them in the eventual rabbit farm that we're going to set up over here. And I think we will probably find a way of getting the rabbits into the cell with the vindicator, although it's not going to be the way we have done that with the other mobs, because unfortunately rabbits, when they grow up, aren't going to be able to get into this water stream. Or maybe they might be able to, but the babies could also get into the water stream as well, which is the whole process behind each of these farms. We just feed a couple of the mobs here, the babies go down there, and when they grow up, they end up in here, making sure that only the adult mobs get attacked by the vindicator, because only the adult mobs are going to produce drops. In this case, though, the rabbits are going to have to be flushed in there manually once they have grown up. I tried it a couple of different ways in creative, and there wasn't really a way I could make sure that only adult rabbits could get through to a place that the baby rabbits couldn't, because baby rabbits, as you'll see, are tiny, and we're going to use that to our advantage when we actually make the farm itself. For now, it looks like they're kind of getting stuck underneath that slab, though, so maybe we should correct this staircase that we have here. Yeah, perhaps we'll just fill the blocks in like that, make it a little bit more of a straightforward staircase. That's probably fine, but look at that. They're all frolicking around this little hutch. I like the fact that we've got a nice little rabbit den for them now, and all we have to do is wait for the babies to grow up a little bit and the adults to be willing to breed again, and we should be able to breed a few more of them. I suppose in the meantime I could head out to the taiga and try and find some with some different markings just to speed this process up a little bit. And I'm not sure if the mountain biomes will count or not, but there are a few snowy taiga type of things around the place as well that should suffice. Well, our little family here is certainly growing, and we have one brown baby bunny who has just wandered in there and is having a bit of trouble on the slabs over there, it seems like. But yes, we have a different rabbit of a different color, and that is that 5% chance of getting a rabbit breed from a different set of colors when you're in a biome that isn't a desert or a snow biome. And look at that, we saw it. The rabbits are going after the carrots. That's so cool. I've never really seen that behavior in action before because I've not spent all that much time around rabbits in this game. Thankfully, these rabbits live up to their reputation and they do tend to breed quite fast. So hopefully we should be able to breed a few more rabbits of varying colors because I've not been able to find any more over there. I think there may just be too many passive mobs generated in that area, and that's what's preventing more rabbits from spawning. But we can wait for a few more of these to grow up. We can breed them a couple more times, and hopefully we should be able to see one of every color. We're going to name one of them, and we need to get the name tag for that, actually. We may as well do that now, because another somewhat overlooked Easter egg in this game is to rename a rabbit Toast, and this is actually a tribute that one of the developers left in from, I think, a player of Minecraft rather than one of the other developers. But according to the Minecraft wiki, this was a user by the name of XYZen420, and their girlfriend's missing rabbit was named Toast, and one of the developers at the time, Ryan Holtz, who was known as the Mog Miner, left this in the game as a bit of a kind of memorial, I guess, to this rabbit. So let's find one of the white bunnies and let's name tag it Toast. There we go. And it changes color to be this kind of like black and white rabbit, which is kind of cute, I guess. And I wonder if that's going to affect the colors that it breeds with the other bunnies. We will find out, I suppose. But I don't think you can duplicate this texture by breeding them. I think it just has to be name tag Toast in order for that to happen. But that's cute, and another Easter egg we get to explore in this series. Okay, so I've spent a lot of time breeding these guys. We have a whole bunch of them now, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get absolutely every single texture of rabbit. We are still missing one, which is a black and white one that's kind of similar to the Toast Bunny, but not quite. And unfortunately, yeah, it just seems like that one isn't breeding for whatever reason. Maybe we do need to go and get that one from a taiga after all, but we have a couple of different ones. We've got, of course, the snow bunnies and the sand bunnies. We have the black bunnies over here. We have Toast the rabbit. We have two varieties of brown ones, and the differences between those are quite subtle, but they are there. Some of them have a slightly whiter underbelly. Some of them have a slightly browner underbelly. I think the white underbelly one is in there, looking a little bit lighter, and the ones with the brown underbelly are down here. Now, the next step, really, after having gotten all of these rabbits together, is to move some of the adults into a section of this farming setup over here, and it's really going to be quite simple, which is why I haven't really reserved much of the video left for this. We're going to put them in a little kind of 1x1 cell up here on top of either a fence post or a fence gate. And the idea is that when we breed the rabbits together, the adult rabbits won't be able to fall down through the fence gate or the fence post, but the baby rabbits will. The hitbox of a baby rabbit is actually slim enough that it will be able to slip down through the gaps in the fence post. So I'm going to take these carrots out of my hand, and these rabbits are temporarily going to go slightly nuts. Yeah, that is why I kind of need to make sure that we get this farm set up, because otherwise the entity collisions kick in while they're jumping and they just fly around everywhere, and it's kind of chaotic for a little bit. So I'm going to try and round up as many of the adults as I can. We'll leave as many of the babies in there as we can, and hopefully we should be able to get a farm set up over here. So what we're going to do is actually have the bunnies go in the back of the Vindicator's little pen here, and I figure what we'll do is have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we need one more. 8. That right there is where a water stream is going to be dispensed from a dispenser. Let's pop down a glass block there. We'll place the dispenser there with a water bucket inside. Now, every time this dispenser gets activated with something that I don't have on me right now, let's just grab the stone button from here. Every time the dispenser gets activated, we can flush all of the baby rabbits down here into the holding cell with the Vindicator, where the Vindicator will end up killing them pretty easily, I imagine. We could always drop them from height, of course, but I feel like using this Vindicator was kind of the point of this whole animal farming setup to begin with. Now, above this, of course, we want to be able to turn the dispenser on and off. We might also want to prevent the baby rabbits from sneaking their way down here before they are fully grown, although they will probably try and stay away from the Vindicator anyway, but I'm not 100% certain on that. They tend to stay away from other mobs as best they can, but I don't know if Vindicators get special treatment there or not. But we will have a glass tube above the top of this, and that's where the adult rabbits are going to be sat, kind of behind this section of the farm. Not particularly pretty right now, but we could always do something about that a little bit later. The point right now is to show the mechanics, and if we have a fence post in there, and of course we could build the rest of this up a little bit if we are at all concerned about the rabbits being in here and hopping out at any point. All we need to do is get a couple of adult rabbits in there and start breeding them. Ideally, we want as many as we possibly can, though, so we could always throw a trapdoor or something in here first to make sure that the adult rabbits can get in there and breed a few before we start releasing the babies into this little tube down here. And I think if we're smart about this, I might actually be able to coax the rabbits up some scaffolding, which will save a little bit of time. So I wonder if, yeah, maybe I should just take down the scaffolding in front of these temporarily, and we should be able to drag the rabbits up the scaffolding using a lead. Come here, bunnies. Come here, bunnies. There we go. We'll get you on the lead. We'll get you on the lead. These two look like they are fully grown adults. There are a couple of other baby ones hopping around here and there, and to be honest, they changed the size of rabbits a little while ago, so they're even smaller. So sometimes it's actually difficult for me to tell whether they're babies or not from a distance. Now let's see if we can get these rabbits up the scaffolding like so. Are they going to behave like the other farm animals? It looks like they might not be. Oh, but that's fine because we have a volunteer over here. Yes, there we go. One of them is climbing the scaffolding, should hopefully hop out the top of here. And if we can get it to fall into this little tube here, hopefully that's where it should stay. Okay, that was easier said than done, I think. Let's see if we can breed a few of them up. The difficulty here, of course, being making sure they don't jump out of the top, but maybe if we add an extra block's worth of height to the top of the tube here, we can feed them carrots without them jumping all the way out of this. There we go. That seems to be working out all right. These rabbits have such a unpredictable jump, especially when they are jumping for food, so it can be a little bit difficult to feed them without getting them jumping over fences and stuff like that. But hopefully, should just be able to breed up a few more of these rabbits in here, and then as soon as they start producing babies, the babies are going to make their way down into here, and we should just be able to dispense them along the water column into where the Vindicator is standing. Let me see if I can grab a few more of these adults just to speed up the process, and can I pull you over the fence? Yes, I can. Okay, great. Sometimes it's a little difficult to do that, but they managed it. Good job. All right, let's see if we can get you guys up. The scaffolding is the next hurdle. Yeah, looks like we might have lost a couple there, unfortunately. Yeah, I tend to drag them up the side of the scaffolding, and then they fall a little too easily. Let's see if that one climbs. Yep, okay, that one's doing pretty well. and all we need to do is give it a quick nudge into the top of the tube here. Looks like some of the ones that escaped earlier have also managed to grow up a little bit, so we should be able to guide some of them. Look at that, we've got a whole bunch of them following us now. Half of them are just following me because I'm holding a carrot in my hand, which I guess I'm fine with, as long as we can get them up the scaffolding, then no harm done. Yep, looks like we actually got 3 at a time that time, which is brilliant. Let's see if we can take the leads off of them, and then see if we can... Oh, nope, that one ended up falling. 2 more in there, fantastic. Let's try and get a 3rd real quick, and maybe even snag a couple of the ones that were roaming around here. All right, that should make a pretty decent adult population for now. Let's grab an extra stack of carrots out of here, and let's try breeding a bunch of them. I would guess we have about 10 in there right now, and having obviously like 20 or more will probably get us close to the entity cramming limit, which is not exactly what we want. I tell you what, if I get another bucket of water, I should be able to waterlog that trapdoor. And maybe I'll just grab the water bucket out of here, and maybe that will help us to feed all of these bunnies when they need feeding. There we go, that's the stuff. All right, let's see if we can try and get a few carrots for each of those. You know what, a dispenser at that level might be a good idea as well, to get them to jump up and down like this, kind of like we've done with the rest of the animal farms. So I should go and craft myself another dispenser. There we go. For now, they should all be happily jumping up and down in there, and we can remove the trapdoor once the rest of those baby rabbits have grown up, and hopefully that should be all good. They are Z-fighting with each other a little bit there, but yeah, no, that should be fine. Okay, it's taken me a second to figure out exactly how we're going to get the dispenser in there without letting all the rabbits out. I think I'm probably going to have to open this trapdoor once those last 3 baby rabbits have grown up, and then hopefully I should be able to just place a dispenser facing towards the trapdoor and then remove the trapdoor entirely, because that's not going to be there for the long term. We just want to have this fence post here to make sure that the adult rabbits are sticking around up here. But this is actually a pretty good illustration of what's going to happen, because the adult rabbits are all now sitting on top of the fence post. Their hitbox is too large for them to fit into the corners, but the baby rabbits just get drawn to the corners instantly because they're all trying to occupy the same space, and that will actually drop them down the sides of the fence post here. So we shouldn't need to worry too much about the adult rabbits once they are in there, and they all seem to be trying to head in that direction, which is good news for me because that's away from the vindicator, and if the babies exhibit the same behavior, we shouldn't see too many of them running down the tube here. In fact, it seems to me there's probably enough adult rabbits in there now, so I'm going to open the trapdoor like that, and that's going to cause them to jump up and down a little bit, and oh no, the babies are making their way towards the vindicator. Oh dear, this could be a bit of a problem, especially if they decide to... Oh, are they getting out? I didn't realize that wasn't sealed off on the other side. Ah, yeah, well, sorry, friends. You're probably going to have to get stuck there, it seems like. I didn't realize that was open at the other side. Oh, man, that's tragic. Anyway, now those rabbits are all stuck by the trapdoor. I should be able to take this out right here, and we'll place the dispenser facing that way. And then with the bucket of water in the dispenser, we can come back up here and close, if not completely break, this trapdoor. And as you'll see, all of the bunnies are still up there on the surface, and when we activate this dispenser here, it's going to be able to flood this with water, allowing us to breed the rabbits. Once the babies fall down there, they should stay in there for a little while. We might need to, like I said, make sure that this is closed off. And yeah, anytime the baby rabbits end up in there, the vindicator is killing them mercilessly, and it's not getting us any drops. See, there we go. He got mad at those ones a little bit for trespassing on his turf, and I think we'll probably have to do something about that. So yeah, I will probably set up some sort of like T flip-flop switch that can open or close a trapdoor or something over there that will prevent the rabbits from getting in there until they are fully grown up and we press the button attached to that dispenser. So in the end, I actually ended up with a very neat little contraption here, and it relies entirely on me hitting this note block to start things off. What we've got right here is a dispenser that is going to be activated by hitting that note block because of this observer, and that's going to dispense water into this space, allowing me to feed all of these bunnies here carrots and allow them to breed. At the same time, the same signal is going to be sent down and retract this wooden block here from the tube here with the sticky piston, allowing any rabbits that are currently in this space to flow along. So the idea is that we only need to breed any more rabbits up here once the ones down here have grown up. And at the same time, this dispenser here is going to dispense the water. Once that block retracts, it's going to propel all of the grown bunnies over there into the cell with the vindicator. So right now, the farm is off. All I should need to do is tap that, and a bunch of stuff happens at once. We get to feed all of these bunnies here, and then they are going to produce some babies, which for now should just end up on the surface here. They shouldn't actually fall down into that area until I hit this button again, and then that should all close up. Oh, okay, it looks like we did get a couple of babies down there, but it seems like, oh gosh, it's all a bit of a mess over here right now, but it seems like we did get a couple that got stuck in there as planned. So that is working. We probably need to change up the timings just a little bit here. But ultimately, those bunnies are doing quite a good job of staying away from the Vindicator for now. So hopefully they should remain afraid of him for the moment. And then once they grow up, we just need to hit this like so, and it's going to flush all of the rabbits down here into the cell with the Vindicator, where the Vindicator is going to end up killing them. And it's okay if he kills them at the entrance to the tube here, of course, because all of the drops are going to end up being flushed down into the hoppers that he's standing on in any case. So that should be just fine. And of course, you don't have to do all of this using the Vindicator at all. You could just have the baby rabbits fall down into a collection area where when they grow up, you remove a block, or you just have like a fence post or something in the way so that they can't jump out, and you can kill them when they're fully grown with a looting sword, get yourself a ton of rabbit's feet and rabbit hide and all of the stuff that you need from them. But hopefully that should end up with a few raw rabbit in the chest. As of right now, we have a couple that I can take into the butchers in my trading hall and trade with them, because each of these guys over here should be able to trade me one raw rabbit for, there we go, 1 emerald. So that's 5 emeralds with just a few raw rabbit. Thank you so much for the trade, my friend, and thank you guys for watching this episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.